Everyone, it's Leanne again, and how are you all? I've been working on some artist trading cards. Now, that size anyway, 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch. It's just some corrugated iron from a box, not iron, corrugated cardboard from a box, and I painted it with gesso black, and I put some leather around the edges. I just hot glued it on and gave it some little pieces of leather there. I think that's quite effective. And then I outlined it a little bit with a pen, a gel pen. That's my first one. I did a Christmas one. I'm just waiting for it to dry, but I thought I'd just try a Christmas card. Now I put some tinsel on the top here to tie on the tree. I've got some pretty little stars there. See that on the top? I just put a bit of Mod Podge there and just put some beautiful little stars. Now I had this that I cut out, die cut, die cut from my Big Shot machine. I got a ribbon on, I painted it red, and that's what it turned out like. So I'm going to put that on my tree this year. Right, I did this one. This one's a bird. I outlined it in the blue leather. It's just a napkin. On the back is gesso again, black. And I did that tag. And then I did two flower tags. This one here is in ears. And I outlined it in pink leather. I gessoed the back again and the front. And that is another one. And I did a blue one. Very similar. Canterbury Hill Bell. This one. Now I put the blue on it again, the blue leather. And I painted it again with gesso, and it's just cardboard again. And that's what it looks like. So that's one there. So I've made a few. Now I've done this one just to show you how I've done it. It's a piece of cardboard. Don't look at that. I stuck a Merry Christmas on the back on that one. I was just testing that out. You can paint over that if you don't like it. I'm not too fussed. But anyway, this is 2.5 by 3.5 inch cardboard. I cut a little hole in it, and I painted it red, a Christmassy red, as you can see. And I thought I'd stick these mushrooms on it. I love mushrooms. So that's what I'm up to now. I'm not sure I won't use a hot glue. I'll just get my tacky glue. I'll just be back in a second. Right, I've got my tacky glue, and I'm going to do, I'll just take the top off. It's a bit being used lately. Yes, it's coming out fine. Probably a bit too fine. Right, there we go. Now I'm going to stick that on down the bottom of the card like that. I'm going to hold it down. Now I'll just get a wet wipe because my hands are very sticky, and I want to wipe the glue a little bit off that card. I'll just give it a wipe like this. You'll see that my mushrooms are over glued. I put too much on. It came out a bit too fast. But that happens, doesn't it? Anyway. There we go. And there's the little mushrooms. Right, so the little mushrooms are there. Just get my topper wipe, close it off. Must always keep your glue nice and tidy. Right, now what shall we put on there? I thought I'd put on this black leather strand that I've got around the edging of it, yet again. And I might just do some, a bit of gel pen and that here and there. Just let it dry for a moment. Right, now I'm just going to put that leather on around the edge. Won't take long, and God, I'm tangled up here today. Oh, it's a beautiful Sunday in Sydney. Absolutely stunning day. Good for the garden, so get out there and have a go. Right, sort of got that stuck on. I'm going to continue on around the corner. Now you might need a little bit of more glue than normal just to hold that lever on. Like that. I'll just hold it on for a sec. Right. You can put anything around the edge of this. You can make these into Christmas cards. Put a Merry Christmas on the back, or you can put them on your tree. As little dangles on your tree. You can do almost anything with them. You can use them as a bookmark. You can write something nice on the back. They're pretty. They're handy to give to someone in Happy Mail. Some of your work. Write a nice sweet little note on the back and saying, you know, this is Happy Mail to someone on YouTube, and say, I really like your work, and this is just some of my work. I'm sure that's acceptable. And or send something to someone, an old school friend on YouTube or something, not YouTube, Facebook, and just to say hello. It's a nice touching note. Everyone likes to receive handmade stuff. It's just an expression of excuse me, an expression of your work and how much you care about them. Boy, that was hard to cut. I think it's the scissors. I've used the wrong scissors. But nonetheless, I'll just get rid of some of these strands off my fingers. They're sticking. Right, now we cut it right up to the edge line of that other one. And then you'll need to put a lot more glue on than normal. Because it's got a ridge in there and it takes up a bit of the glue. Now that's what it looks like so far. Isn't it sweet? Oh, it's got some strands on. I hope you can't see that. Spoils it then. But anyway, there it is there. Now that doesn't look like it's glued on very well. Oh, it's not too bad. Anyway, that was the leather that I just used on that. And you can put a little bit more leather on the top there. Now I thought I'd get some highlights. I think I'll use that and the black. just to highlight the mushrooms a little bit. Now, don't you love that red colour? I know it's got Merry Christmas on the back. You can use that as a Christmas, Merry Christmas. And you can still tie it on your Christmas tree. Now I'm just going to highlight a little bit of this by going around the edging. I'm just going to edge it with black gel pen because the Jack gel pen really highlights it. It's still a tiny bit wet. It's best to wait till it's fully dried. But because we're here now, we'll do it. Right, I've sent my husband up to the Bunnings here in Australia, a hardware warehouse type thing, or man DIY stuff, you know, home handyman stuff. It's huge here in Australia. And can you see that? I just started to highlight it a little bit by going around it. And my son, middle son, is 33. He, which was the other day, he turned 33. He is finishing the front porch for us. Now, we had a porch there that my husband and I, Greg, we both, at the time, covered in the stairs and put a wooden deck over the top, just a small one, because that's all we could afford at the time. And he's going to finish that off today, sorry, my son, John. And even though my husband does all the DIY and he's been doing it for years, my son picked up a few skills over the years, and he likes to do, well, I would say arts and crafts. He's very good at that, but he's also good at the building. The presentation's not always perfectly neat and professional, but I tell you what, it's effective. And he does a reasonable job, actually. My husband's been doing it for years. He's better. That's funny. Anyway, he's going to finish that front porch. Not the deck, because we've already done it. It's getting old, and we've painted it green. Nice heritage green. And he's just finishing off the, what do you call it? Thing. What do you call it? The rails. Because I wanted it covered in. So he done one on our granny flat. Just a plain one. And he done one fancy on the house we're in now. And that turned out alright. We painted that heritage green too just recently, the back porch. And I go out there in the sun and all that. And I'm just going to highlight those circles. Because things are so expensive, aren't they? Now, if you get something done, like build a porch or something, it costs $4,000 to $5,000. And that's not a very big decking or porch. That's only, what, about a 3 metre or 2 by 2 metre or 2 by 3 metre. Costs a lot of money. These builders are charging a fortune. I can understand why. Timber's dear, but also, you know, if you're working on an old house, there's certain things that can happen. Yeah, there's certain things that can happen that you might need, that you don't count the costs on. And I can understand that you need to replace some timber and and all sorts of things, because we've had very old homes that we bought when they were cheap and need a lot of work on them anyway. And so I can understand that, but I'll tell you what, it gets extraordinarily dear. And if you can do some skills yourself, if you can do some of the work yourself, that's what you should do, because you save yourself, it makes it more affordable, and things are made more affordable for you, so you can get that decking done. You can spend that money on the important things for you. It's your home. I mean, it's your money, what you want to spend it on. And you want value for money, don't you? Everyone does. I do. I just don't settle. So anyway, I'll just move my hands out of the way. There's the mushroom. Now the mushroom I highlighted a little bit with some of those gel pens, as you can see. It's quite pretty. And it needs a piece of string on top there. And so there are all the cards. So just get a piece of cardboard, 2.5 by 3.5 inches, 2.5 by 3.5. Cut out the corrugated iron, put a little hole in it, paint it whatever colour you want, put some edging on it. I've just put this lever on because I've had it in my cupboard, drawers, yeah. And I didn't know what to use it on, so I've used it on this. And I'm going to make some more. I'm going to make some more of the Christmas ones, but they're coming up. And I'll get to them very shortly. There's a butterfly one. Here's a Christmas one again. I love those little stars. You just put a bit of Mod Podge on with your finger and then you just sprinkle them on. They are gorgeous. I love the Christmas ones. And then I've got my two flowers there. My Zinnia and Canterbury Bell tags. And then I've got the bird. And that's it. So I'm going to put some string on this one. I might put a bit of gold or something on it, to hang it off. And I have to also, I'll just move that out of the way. So there they are. There's all my tags that I made, all my trading cards, and I've done them up a little bit. All you need is some edging around the corrugated iron, paint it, and then just go to town on what you want to do. I'm starting to make some Christmas trees things at the moment, sorry. I've got some stockings that I want to personalise into my children's names and my name and my husband's name. And then I'm going to build a nativity scene. I'm going to get some wood and put it down. I might make it into, like, I don't know, cobblestone type size or kidney size. And then I'm going to make it out of some styrofoam, what do you call that stuff? Styrofoam. I've got from some packaging from a box. I'm going to make a a little square. I'm going to paint that, and then I've got some twigs that I've picked up on the sides of the roads that have dropped from our trees and so forth, and I'm going to put that on the outside and make it into a little, what do they call those things? It's a stable but a creche, I think. Yeah, creche. And it's a little creche or stable, and I'm going to put a nativity scene, you know, the baby Jesus, Joseph and Mary, some three wise men, that sort of thing. Now I'm waiting for that to come through eBay, the nativity set. They're not very cheap, so I just got some cheap ones, but even though they weren't cheap. And I'm going to make sure that I build it, and I'll slowly build it. because it requires you to think about it. And I'm going to do that over the next 3 weeks. I'm going to make some Christmas decorations as well, very similar to these but round. And they'll be Christmas decorations. I've already made some and I put some away. I might pull them out and show you what I've done in the past a few years back, and then I might make some new ones. I'm just gathering the stuff at the moment, so when I do, I'll film some of it. But anyway, you can also make these into Christmas decorations, as I said with this one. Put anything on it. So that's Christmassy. I love the red. Anyway, till I see you next time, take care. I'll see you soon. I'll see you in the next video. So bye for now. Thanks very much for watching too.